not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we're talking about practice.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere other than one that is not me. It's beef, we shred a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach him with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines, you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'm a go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They brain got the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this. Nigga, I eat bars and drink flows, thinking you woke into your third eye peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy. It's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early. This bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game. These niggas lame. State bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same. You want the easy pass? Tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire. You can't stand the rain. Take an aim. Tell him runner he can try his best. Drive a car named after me. That's why I'm in the vet. Lamping these niggas once again, and I ain't break a sweat. Number one at everything I do. That's why I'm one west. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this janitor with the mop stick. You gonna need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10 I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick. I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7", is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk. I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl? I'm talking about another gun. You hear now? Hey, look, it is what it is now. We don't fuck with the house niggas. We burn the crib now. I'm ahead now. And I hope they can hear now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga. I don't fear clown. Silences make it sound like raindrop. That's a quiet storm. Get the job done in the view and get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walking this bitch ready for war. I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flex. That's why I am armed. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga. I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They turn their head over, nigga.
I read what Eve did to Adam. I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, it's an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening. Is it fact if revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jacob. So war, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. As who run this shit, but their question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young pay. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raise up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his gang, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
That's why I don't know you. I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General Yahanna, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he made man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
You don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
What's going on, fam? I.S.U.P.K.com is the website. Commander General Yahanna getting it in. Chance to hang out with you a little bit up in this UPK world of ours, bringing this truth out. A lot is going on as usual. The world is spinning faster than it's ever spun before. Gas prices going up through the roof. And that's not just gas at the pump. That's the gas prices in your house as well. Those gas prices are going up. The price of everything is going up. Once the gas goes up, everything goes up. It's just the marks of these times, man. This is the time to prepare. Let me explain something to you. Now's the time, like we mentioned before. Once again, this could be just another false alarm until later on. This much I can tell you. I can guarantee you that the days of destruction are here. I can guarantee you that it's going to get harder and harder out here. And I guarantee you this as well, that if you do not have brotherhood and sisterhood, you will not survive in this time. If you don't have the tools that Christ gave us during the time that he walked this earth, you will not survive. Christ gave us those tools of brotherhood and sisterhood because he knew that the Greeks and the Romans were getting ready to come down on us, that it was going to be hell and horror on our people. And so he prepared them for that by bringing them those tools. Now, it may not look like it to you now, but those tools of brotherhood and sisterhood are what you're going to need. Let me tell you something. If you decide to, I would, but it's up to you. If you decide to, prepare yourself in the event of some type of economic downturn, then prepare for you and consider preparing for 3 or 4 other brothers and sisters as well, their families, if you're able to. Now's the time to store up. Get that corned beef hash. You understand? Stack them up. Get that canned salmon. Stack them up. Get you that rice. Rice is always a staple. People could eat off of rice for years. All right. Stack that up. You want to store stuff like that. Noodles, dry noodles, all them type of thing. Canned sauces. You start now, prepare now, start putting a little, and it don't take a whole lot. You ain't got to turn into a prepper. You understand? But it's a wise move right now because the world is falling apart. Biblically, you got monkeypox all over the place, breaking loose. You still got coronavirus, getting it in. We're going to talk about a couple of these issues to this week. And also, too, Murad, did we put in the description about that movie? Brothers and sisters, I'll repeat this a couple of times during the show. There's a movie out called What is a Woman? I put the link in the description for you to go check it out. I think they're going to ask you to download it. Let me tell you something. You want to hear some crazy lunatic people? I'm talking doctors and psychiatrists that are out of their damn mind. People that you look up to as people of wisdom that are crazier than a bed bug. This Edomite got together and made this movie called What is a Woman? And in this movie, he approaches it, the transgender community, with that question. And you should see the reaction to what it is he's bringing out. It's very interesting. I'm going to come back Saturday with the brothers and do a little bit of review and show you a few things in the movie to see if you catch what I catch. But it's definitely something to check out. So back to what I was saying. Now's the time to still stock up on that. You understand? If you have legal guns, I'm going to show you something else about the guns as well tonight. There's something heavy just that they just did a study and found out something about gun owners and people that had legal rights to carry guns and what it does in times of trouble, man. Okay? And how it's went forward. So with all these things going on in the earth, now's the time to take a real chunk hold onto the knowledge of the truth, onto the scriptures, onto the Most High. Now's the time to increase yourself, man, with wisdom and knowledge and breaking down these scriptures, because once again, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Everybody laughed when we said we waiting on Christ to crack the sky. They laughed and said we waiting on a spook. We waiting on this, we waiting on that. Now that it's coming to pass, it ain't so funny to everybody no more. Now they trying to prepare the same way that we've been telling them to prepare. While they was sitting around worshiping dead bodies and acting like dead bodies was going to give them the understanding, the wisdom on how to go forward, they didn't understand Christ's plan. They understanding it now. You understanding it now when you got to pay double and triple to fill up your vehicle at the pump. When you don't know how your gas bill and electric bill is going to be paid. You're going to instantly become familiar with understanding solar energy and electric cars. You're going to become instantly familiar with it because now's the time. And it's a beautiful thing for the brothers and sisters that understand it. This is a most wonderful time to be living in if you understand what it is that is going on in the earth. And especially for brothers and sisters in the truth for this reason. Because here is the golden opportunity. This is the golden opportunity to get you a crown in the kingdom of heaven. This is a golden opportunity to give you the rep you need to have when you stand before the Most High in Christ. This is the time to get it. This is the time to respond and get it quickly, man. So with that, Morale, where are we going first?
Makan, sir. We was going Sri Lanka.
Please. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Makan. If I may, I'm going to share this with everybody, sir.
Yeah.
Makan. Sri Lanka Prime Minister, Salaki. Sri Lanka Prime Minister, island's economy has collapsed.
The island's economy has collapsed in Sri Lanka. They getting ready to go into absolute hell. And what did we say? We knew this was going to happen. Why? Because this is exactly what happened when you have an integrated economy and you fighting one other half of your people. Christ said this: a house divided cannot stand. You understand? A house divided cannot stand. This house is now divided. Esau's house is divided. Russians against the Americans, so forth and so on. And in that division, this house is not standing. So now come the casualties. Sri Lanka's economic empire has just collapsed. They're about to become slaves to either the Chinese or the Americans or whoever. Whoever has the money to feed the people in Sri Lanka now is about to become their slave master. Go ahead, Op.
Khan. If I may. Colombo, Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's debt landing has Sri Lanka's debt landing economy has collapsed.
The economy collapsed. Go ahead.
After months of shortage of food, fuel, and electricity.
And food, fuel, and electricity. Why are those things the ones failing? Because that's exactly what they're fighting over there in Ukraine. They're fighting over that. They're fighting over the wheat. They're fighting over the land. They want power. They tried to run in there with NATO and power them so that they could squeeze Russia out of the game. Russia came back, bombed them into the Stone Age. They had a reporter come on the news and say that it was a total lie what they're saying about the war with Ukraine. They said, man, it ain't no war with Ukraine. It's a slaughterhouse. The dumb Russians are bombing Ukraine into the Stone Age. I told you before, them MiGs, brother, them MiGs have put a hurting on the U.S. jets as well. U.S. has the F-22, but they got the MiG-29s. They're faster, smaller, more agile than the U.S. plane. So you know there ain't no issue over there in over there in Ukraine. So they're bombing that place to the Stone Age right now. And it's biblical prophecy. You're going to see now, here we go again. Your slave master, the empire, is now going to have to fly over there and save them Hamites. Which means what? They're going to move them into your neighborhood. We're buying up your houses in the auctions. We're getting federal funding to take over your neighborhoods. Like they're doing with every other nation. See, they've overthrown them nations, and now those nations are subject unto them. And as they're subject unto them, they just put them up over their slaves. You finance all these empires, man. All this transgender talk and pronouns and all this so-called modern way of living. You dumb and stupid as you could be, man. You dumb and simple as you could be, thinking that you are going progressively into the future when you're going backwards into captivity. Come on with it, Morocco. Give me a little bit more. We're going to pull some scripts on these.
The Prime Minister told lawmakers Wednesday in comments that underscored the country's dire situation as it seeks help from international leaders.
Now they got the bag. That's why y'all make me sick. The ones of you out there that look at the Hamites like they're better than you. A lot of you look at them after. I remember, man, I remember not too long, I want to say 5, maybe 10 years ago. Right around, you know when else too? It was twice actually. But one of those times was right around the time when Eddie Murphy made that movie Coming to America. That movie Coming to America was an amazingly evil propaganda movie against you, and you didn't even know it. Just like you don't understand that movie Black Panther. That movie Black Panther is a horrible, horrible propaganda movie against you, and they're getting ready to come out with part 2. And both of those movies was about promoting Africans as better than you. That's what the movie was about. It was about promoting them like they're royalty and treating you like you were less than royalty. You understand? And meanwhile, nobody tells them that they need to get themselves together, pull themselves up by their bootstraps when their country and empire fall. Ain't nobody telling the people of Sri Lanka, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Ain't nobody telling them that. Ain't nobody saying, well, at some point you have to help yourself. Meanwhile, these are countries that have their own independence, their own military, their own land to grow and build on. And they tied their economy to the heathens, and then their empire has fallen. And now they begging them heathens, and guess what? It all comes out of you, black man, black woman. You Mr. and Mrs. Love Africa. Africa this and Africa that. Promoting Africa like they better than you. Like they're something greater than you. When you the chosen people of the Lord, and the Lord said it too, man, we the only people on the face of the Lord's green earth that prefer the other nations over us, man. We the only ones. We'll take the other nations over us any day of the week. Meanwhile, when you turn around and say you're supposed to be taking care for the crimes that was done to you, oh, you just looking for a handout. You just looking for a handout. You always want somebody to give you something. You don't want to work for what you get. You need to put in hard work. Well, go tell the Sri Lankans to go put in some hard work then. They got their own country. Go tell them to do that. And wait a minute, get me right on this. The island of Sri Lanka is known for diamonds over there. Am I lying? They're known for having diamonds over there. What happened? What happened? Now they're begging the international community. And what that really means, let's really make it clear. Begging the international community means really begging America. That's all it is. It's begging America. And in begging America, it means America has to find a way to feed you. And they only find one way to feed you, and that is to shovel us up under the bus. We feed nations all around the world. We have no idea. We're spending billions feeding other nations. How you know that? It's real simple. You ain't producing anything. Name me one gross national product that's produced by blacks in America that all the nations or any nation around the world consistently buys. I'm listening. Type it in the chat room. I'm listening. Besides crack. And they hardly don't buy that from you. They get that from the Asians. So what? Here they are again. The Lord said this. The heathen that is among you shall get up above you very high, and you shall come down very low. Welcome to your life in this empire, man. Give me a little bit more, Marat, and we can go to the scripts on it.
Kind of one con, sir. I got a lot more, sir. If I may, please. I'm gonna start here. Government officials have been given every Friday off for 3 months to save on fuel and grow their own fruits and vegetables.
Damn! Now you talking Sri Lanka? Go on and get to work. Government officials was given off so they can grow their own fruits and vegetables to feed themselves. That's where it's gonna go in America too. That's why they keep talking about urban farming. Go ahead, Marat.
Lucky, so they're going to beat their weapons in the plowshares.
Thank you, brother. That's heavy. Matter of fact, pull that so we can eventually read it. Like now they going and doing what the hell they need to be doing. Farming, feeding themselves. Go ahead.
Kind of one con. The inflation rate for food is 57% according to official data.
Up 57%. That's because of the war that's about to expand. Because guess what? Whatever side they go to, they're going to have to go help in that war effort to help push their side to winning. Go ahead.
Kind of one con. It also has received pledges of 300 million to 600 million from the World Bank to buy medicine and other essential items. Sri Lanka has already announced that it is suspending repayment of 7 billion in foreign debt due this year, pending on the outcome of negotiations with the International Monetary Fund on a rescue package. It must pay 5 billion on average annually until 2026.
And let me tell you something. If I could. Them Sri Lankans, which is really a mixture of Africans and East Indians, them Sri Lankans are going to be calling for you to send donations, and all of you wealthy and well-to-do black people, you're going to all send your donations over there. You're going to go over there to try to save them. That's what you do. I even see you fake Israelites doing that. You ready to go to Africa and save the Africans. You ready to go over there and get in the mud huts with them and join in with them and, help them out. But the black man in the ghetto, you charge him. You make him out to be the evil one. And that's what's beautiful about these times. The Lord said, your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. What does that mean? That means that that what they did is turn, in other words, real quick example. In other words, this cup is supposed to be sitting like this on its base, but you turn it upside down and you make it this way. You put the base on the top and you put the part that your mouth goes on the bottom. And this is you turning things upside down. But the Lord said it'll be like potter's clay. Is he going to crumble it down and rebuild it back up this way? And that's what you're watching going on right now before your eyes. And it's a beautiful thing to see. You watching that happen right now across the world. God is going to get the last say on everything. And not that white Jesus in your church either. Okay? It'll be esteemed as the potter's clay. Go ahead, Op.
Khan.
Salaki.
Salaki. We had this is quote unquote.
If I could, Murad, real quick. And once Sri Lanka falls, you better keep an eye on India. You better keep a strong eye on especially southern India. Because now that their economy is falling, southern India's economy is falling. And why India is right next to Sri Lanka? Why isn't India helping them? Because all these nations are living off of you, black man. All of them, Latino man. All of them are living off of you. I can't say it enough times, man. And all while telling you, you ain't nothing. You're the bottom. You're lazy. You don't want to work. Remember when Donald Trump went over to Puerto Rico? Lied and said that the Puerto Ricans don't want to, that the stuff can't get off the docks because the Puerto Ricans don't want to drive the trucks. Some of the hardest working people in the world, you're going to sit up there and lie and say that they don't want to move the trucks. Meanwhile, people were dying all over that island. He giving out rolls of toilet paper. That is what's got to be destroyed among us. What's got to be destroyed among us is the brainwashing, the mindset that has been put on us. Deuteronomy 28, the Lord said, you shall be a byword, a proverb and a byword. Those are things like, catch a nigga by the toe. How it go? If he holler, let him go. Niggas love watermelon. Bywords, spade, coon, nigga, jungle bunny, spook, whatever, Latino names, wetback, grease ball. I don't know all the slangs that they use derogatively against our Latino brothers. You understand? But they have quite a few. And we become that as a way to keep our spirit down and look at them as greater. Man, I remember, man, when Eddie Murphy came out with that movie, man, them Africans was looked at as amazing. There was a second time it happened as well, too, during Barack Obama's reign. When Barack Obama got in the White House, it was like Africa was everything after that. Every single black woman was out running around trying to get an African until them Africans ran every credit card scam they could on them sisters, man. They was running them sisters, they was running credit card schemes, all kind of schemes they was running on them sisters and brothers too. Okay? Robbing them blind. Meanwhile, you was in your meetings talking about black men ain't nothing. Black men ain't this. Black men ain't that. But you was looking at them like they was great. Meanwhile, they was robbing the hell out them sisters. Come out 10 years later that they had robbed everything them sisters had, man. No, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Give me some more, Op. Oh, that's it. I think we pretty much hit on that, right?
Kind of got the scripture, sir.
Come on, give me what you got.
This is Isaiah chapter 2, verse 4.
Oh, yeah.
And he shall judge among the nations, and he shall rebuke many people.
Right. He going to judge among these nations. He going to say who was right and who was wrong. Go ahead.
And they shall beat their weapons into plowshares.
Right. That's what they're doing now. They're trying to figure out how they're going to feed themselves. They're trying to figure out now this scripture Murad just pulled is coming to pass right now because now they got to figure out how they're going to feed themselves. Don't look at the world in front of you, man. Look at the world the Lord said is getting ready to unfold in front of you. That's how you got to think. You can't think, I'm going to turn on the TV and whoever the latest rapper is or whatever the latest propaganda is, that's what I'm going to focus on. You can't focus on that. You got to focus on the bigger picture. This place is coming apart righteously. Go ahead, Op.
Khan. And their spears into pruning hooks.
Right. They're going to get into pruning hooks. That's them hooks you use when you trying to build a garden nice and right. You move the dirt around and move the plants around. That's what pruning hooks are for. Go ahead.
Khan. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation.
And in that day when Christ ruled, after this whole war goes down, ain't no nation going to lift up a weapon against another nation again. Because Christ's going to rule the whole planet. No nation will be able to lift another weapon up against another nation. And definitely no nation will ever be able to lift up a hand against God's chosen people, the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel, which is so right. Go ahead, Doc.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
Neither shall they learn war anymore. They ain't going to learn war no more, man. They ain't going to learn how war works. They're going to learn how peace works. They're going to learn how not to go outside their nation and rob and steal. They're going to learn how not to use and abuse God's chosen people. You coming out of slavery, man. You coming out of the dust and getting back into your seat of royalty. And one of the ways you do that is shaking off the brainwashing of making the other nations greater than you. Anything that they've accomplished, you've accomplished much more in this country in captivity. That's why they begging this country. That's what we'd never get a hold of. They're begging this country for help because this country is the greatest country on earth. And it's the greatest country on earth because it had you in slavery. So you're the reason they're so successful for now, until the Lord, like I said, turns it upside down, brings you back to your order. Go ahead, Op.
O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Lord.
Oh, man. The Most High said, man, house of Jacob, I'm going to break them down. I'm going to put them in their own land. I'm going to stop them from going to war. But you, house of Jacob, do what, Morocco?
Let us walk in the light of the Lord.
That's what we're supposed to do, man. We're supposed to walk in the light of the Most High. You're supposed to walk in this light, man, and get yourself right. Come out of that church. Everything we see evil going on with us as a people, we're supposed to get away from. And the Lord going to kill a whole lot of us too. 2/3 of our people are going to die in this place, unfortunately. 2/3 of our people are going to die here because 2/3 of our people will refuse to take the brainwashing off of them. 2/3 of our people are going to be with all the hideous things that this society has taught us to become. 2/3 of our people are going to love this evil as opposed to being against this evil. They're not going to be sick enough of this place, so they're going to participate in this place. That's why the scripture said, come out of her that you don't be a partaker of her sins. Go ahead, Op.
Khan, sir, can I read Zechariah 14?
Please.
If I may. There's 3 scriptures of that, 3 verses if that's too wild, sir.
Please do it.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 16. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts.
Oh, man, that's a day. Every nation that fought against us are going to come up every year. They're going to still live in the earth. These nations are still going to be alive in the earth, except for Esau. His judgment doesn't show nowhere in the scriptures. You can search it out. Nowhere in the scriptures it says that he will get his kingdom in the end and be a part of the world stage. But what it does say is that the other nations will. And they're going to come up every year like they're supposed to. They're going to bring tribute to Christ every year. Every year they're going to pay him tithes and whatever else he requires every year in that kingdom. And that's why Christ, when he came, he told us to teach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, because he knew that the kingdom we were in, that it was going to turn into absolute hell. That same kingdom that Christ was teaching us about, Before it came to pass, we were eating our own children, man. Show you how much the Lord loved us. He sent Christ out right before the worst possible time we could ever be in. Right before the worst possible time we could have ever fallen in, Christ, the Lord sent Christ, man, to show us the avenue out. And as a result, now we see the avenue. But here's the sad part. What happened to them in 70 AD is not even as bad as what's about to happen to us in this kingdom and the rest of these kingdoms around the world. This is going to be even worse. Go ahead, Art.
Count out of one con, sir. If I may, sir, if I could just add, just like how you brought out,
please.
It say everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem.
Everyone that is left of the ones that came against Jerusalem. See, this is what this world doesn't understand. That there's a whole spiritual operation going on behind this world. This world doesn't control the world that's behind this world, which is the world, the spiritual world, which is controlled by the Lord. And you might have your intentions and ideas or whatever the hell nonsense you think. It doesn't mean anything when it comes to what the Lord said and what he thinks and how he's orchestrating the world. It don't mean nothing what you say compared to what he said. Because you be on path A, he'll shut yours down and then bring in his path, which is the righteous path, which is the way things ought to be, the way he wants the world to be set up. That's what comes in no matter what you do. They trying every day. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, the guy from England, Virgin Airlines, they all building rocket ships trying to get off the planet, along with NASA and Sputnik and all that from Russia and all China and all. They all building rocket ships, man, trying to get off the planet, trying to find gold and silver and platinum and, you know, all the different other minerals that's not on Earth, that's out there on other planets and moons and stuff. They're trying to gather it up to empower themselves to fight against this day. But it don't matter what you do. Spiritually, the Lord controls everything. You don't understand that. That's what brothers didn't understand when we said Christ's going to return and crack the sky. They didn't understand that. To them, that's fantasy. To you, that's fantasy. And I understand it. I understand how it could be fantasy because you've been listening to a dumbass preacher all your life. Your mama listened to him. Your grandmama listened to him. They sat up in church and watched that minstrel show just debase black people and shame them in their belief of God and use them because of their humility and love for the Most High. Like, black people love the Lord in their heart of hearts, but they've been taught to be monsters against the Lord. They've been taught really to love the slave master like God and to make God like a fairy tale. Right or wrong. And to make God like a fairy tale, make him like a joke, which is why I love to talk about this topic and topics similar to it, because I long to see the power of the Most High bathed in this earth. I long to see the Lord not be taken for a joke like he's been in this earth. I long to see him crush these other nations. And listen, and it's right for me to feel that way. You know why? Because the Lord, all that nonsense about, well, God come in many forms. How you going to hate other people, gods, and all that? Let me tell you something, man. The Lord said in them scriptures, you understand, that to debase these other nations, man, God.
That's right.
To throw down their altars, man. That's what the Lord said. You know what I mean? He wants to show us how mighty he is. He said it in Romans. Did he not say in Romans that I raised up Pharaoh that I might show my power in him? I want to see that power because that power is for us and not everybody else. The people that say God love everybody, that power is not for them. The people that say God love everybody, they love what this empire offers. They love what this world offers. That's why they say God love everybody, because they don't want a God hating them on any level. But God gonna come bring judgment, man. He gonna bring some hate on this earth. Christ said it too. He said, think not that I've come to send peace on earth. Come not to send peace, but a sword. Right now, it's a spiritual sword. Now he bringing it into the physical with the plagues, with the war. Everything that he said was going to happen is unfolding and happening now. So get serious. Get serious about preparing yourself. I don't want to run on too much. I've been going too long on it. Let's you got more in that scripture, or we can move on. Go ahead.
And to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
That's right. Let's go on. Give me the next story. I'm going to get a couple of these in. And big shout out to, who's this? Haas Bunyunyan. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to Bobby Fagan. Who else up in here? Fegans. I hope I didn't mispronounce it. Big shout out to Makwalat. Big shout out to Makwalat. Makwalat, you be killing it on Facebook. Okay? Holding it down from Atlanta, Georgia. Big shout out to Shamea Levi. Big shout out to you, Warrior. Levi coming in strong, brother. Barack Wana, big shout out to you, sister. Up in Toronto, the wife of General Kubalama. Big shout out to you, sis. And who else we got? Just Art and Paint. Shalom, sis. Most I ain't Christ. Okay. Who else I got in here? Shalom. Yasha Allah. I don't know how to get your name, brother. I think it's Shalom Yasha Allah, or is it your Hebrew name? Or you just calling the salute? Oh, Officer Yahawada Yadi checking in from Georgia. Big shout out to you, Warrior. Salakia, Yahawada. All right, so come on with it, Mariah. Where are we going next, real quick, tonight?
Con on one con. Con on one con. More Philly guns.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But now, do we got any more stories like, you know what, never mind. Go ahead. We'll come back on. Let's do that's all right. Do the Philly guns. Go down the list. It's fine. Go down that list. Let's do those. Because remember, I mentioned this before. I think it was ridiculous to say you're going to take away guns from law-abiding citizens, but you are not, you have no way to take away guns from criminals. If you don't have a way to take away guns from criminals, I don't understand why you would even consider taking away guns from legal law-abiding citizens. And we found out through a report that they were dead wrong about this. Like in these times, even Christ was merciful on Peter. Even though you don't need a weapon to survive, the Lord is with you if you walking with the Most High. Let's be clear about that. But since guns are an issue in the earth, the Lord told Peter he could go ahead and get a sword. Did he not? And we'll pull that one up. So if you legally can carry, you understand, then, and they're going to open it up more anyway. They have to. They have to. Even though they add in different things in, they're going to eventually have to open it up for law-abiding citizens to get guns. Because, of course, they know that the empire is descending into chaos and that economically it's falling apart, which is what creates criminals. That's what creates criminals, man. What creates criminals is when you starve people. You starve people, you get criminals. You want to know where criminals at? Majority of criminals, petty criminals, are in the ghetto because they're the ones that's in poverty. Rudolph Giuliani, that low-life piece of you-know-what, turned around and said the majority of crimes are being committed by black people. The majority of poverty is in the black community as well. That comes with the territory. It comes with people want to survive. It's a natural instinct for any mammal to survive. And if you don't have any money to keep a roof over your head and food in your stomach and to feed your babies, you're going to get carnal without the spirituality of the Lord. I'm not telling nobody to go out and become a criminal. What I'm telling you is to wake up and come into truth so that you do not have to become a criminal, so that we can give you what our king gave us, which is a strategy of how to deal with this slave master that is bringing this empire to the ground. And it's a sad thing because you worked hard. You worked for 400 years to build your part in this empire. Not that this was your home or your rest, but you are old. The same way when the children of Israel left Egypt, they spoiled the Egyptians, the scripture said. Meaning they took from the Egyptians back what the Egyptians took from them and owed them. They had a part in that kingdom, and the Lord didn't let them go out empty. Why? Because they built that stinking kingdom and made it the great kingdom that it became. And this is why people are worshiping in that kingdom right now. Well, we did the same thing here. We did the same damn thing here. And there's a part of this place that belongs to you that's being given away to the other nations. The Ukrainians and everybody else with their damn handout. Now the Sri Lankans got their handout. Tell them all, no more welfare checks. That's what you tell us. That's what you tell us. Stop looking for a handout. That's what you tell us. Okay, let them help their own damn self. Because what happens is they all get among you and get up above you. Every third world country that wants to get ahead, they ain't moving into the suburbs. They ain't setting up businesses in the suburbs. Where them Ukrainians being moved to? The ghetto. Where the Afghanistans was being moved to? The ghetto. Where the hell you think the Iraqis that helped them out was moved to? The ghetto. Where you think the Sri Lankans gonna be if they help them out? In the ghetto. Moving over the top of you. I'm tired of seeing the Lord's chosen on the bottom. That's why I can't wait for Christ to return. Like, that's a real reason for Christ to return. You understand? Like, that's a real reason. You want to see Christ return? I do too. But not for no holy roller reason. So he can set things right in this earth.
Right.
So one people don't get ripped off and robbed day and night while others get to prosper over the top of them and they do not get to realize the greatness of their kingdom. You understand? Go ahead. You understand? They don't get to realize that. We act like God, we act like black people can't be a great people. We act like that's an impossibility, man. That's what we act like. And we act like the ghetto doesn't produce nothing. You produce everything. The greatest king that ever walked the face of the earth, Jesus Christ, came right out of the ghetto, the worst ghetto in Israel. Nazareth. Go ahead, Murrah.
And survived abortion, sir.
And survived, damn. Give it up for Murrah. Damn, Murrah, I got to give you that one up. Murrah hit that joint so right. And survived abortion. Come on, Murrah. Get to the story on these guns.
Count on one con, sir. As more people get guns and carry permits, Philly sees a sharp rise in homicides ruled justified.
Hold it now. Hold it. Hold up. What this story is showing you is that we are entering into a realm of lawlessness. It's saying that people in Philly are having, because there's a rise in gun violence and a rise in legal carry guns, there are more shootings that are being called justified now. Between cameras in the city, between cell phone cameras and legal permits to carry guns, you about to see crime level off in these cities because people got legal guns. And let me tell you something. These black women got guns out here, brother. Oh, they got guns. They strapped to the tap. They in these cities are getting strapped like I can't explain. And it's a beautiful thing because you need another way. Like you think that's hating on you because you want to become a criminal when that is love for you so that you don't die at the hands of somebody gun over $100. So you don't die in some store or some convenience store over nothing. So that you don't die like every fool that goes out there and does something evil against their own. You die for nothing. Paralyzed for nothing. Lose a leg or arm or your eye for nothing. Be disfigured for nothing. Walking around with a colostomy bag for nothing. Because you certainly ain't doing it for nothing great. You losing every time you do it, man. And maybe this will make you say, well, maybe I better not rape that girl. Maybe I better not kidnap that child. Maybe I better not do that evil that I was set to go out and do, because maybe if I do it, I might end up dead. Give me some more, Mara.
Con. More people in Philly are legally arming themselves and shooting their armed attackers amid a violent crime spike. Jahuan Perkins, Owens, 22, explaining how an armed robber concealed his weapon in his pocket during a March 22 incident that ended with Perkins Owens using his legally regarded gun to kill the man inside the Dollar General, where he was an assistant manager.
He was the assistant manager at the Dollar General. And some brother came in there with a gun under his waist to rob the Dollar General. And the last thing he expected was that the assistant manager was going to pull out a gun and blow him the hell away. That'll stop you from that. And then you know what you'll do? You'll come to the brothers and say, man, I'm struggling, man. What do I do? And the brothers will show you a better way. Because let me tell you something. Back in the 60s, there was a lot of religious groups in the black community. And a whole lot of these religious groups in the black community were encouraging young black men to become criminals and drug dealers. I'm going to tell you straight up. I don't have to name no names. Don't tempt me, because I will. Okay? But they were teaching young black men to survive that way. You were encouraging crime and encouraging brothers to become criminals. A lot of you black women that go to church, man, you an abomination, man. You an abomination, a lot of you black women, because you, without directly saying it, a lot of you, you encourage your sons. Can they still hear me? Huh? We good? That's all right, but you got the audio, right? Yes, sir. So you'll get it back, right? Yeah, pull it on back when you get a chance. In the meantime, y'all got to just hear me, not see me, all right? You understand? Like a lot of you black women in them churches, you encouraging your sons to do that too. Being a criminal has never been the way for us. And it's against the Lord. Scriptures say, thou shalt not steal. That's what it says. The Lord is forcing us to utilize our brotherhood on our way to fix our nation, man. He's forcing us into it. And we was against each other, brother, when we were about to fall in 70 AD. But guess what? The brothers and sisters that listened to Christ after we fell in 70 AD, they came back together because they were the ones working within the brotherhood and the sisterhood. All the other groups fell apart. Why you think they became the most powerful group in all Israel? Because all the other groups who were selfish, who were carnal, who allowed criminality, who had false doctrines, who were willing to be paid off for their own gain. All of them turned around and fell. But the disciples of Christ, they came together, man. They came together, man. They came together. When they came together, they became the most powerful thing in the Roman Empire. They first became the most powerful thing right after the fall. And then the infiltration of the Edomites came in, which helped bring them down even further. But they did magnificently, man, with it. All right? I got to ask you to go. Can you give me a little more? You want me to keep going without it? You need a couple minutes, right? All right.
I can still bring up the next story if you want it, sir.
Okay, well, give me a little bit more on this one if you don't mind, and then if you could just give me the scripture where Christ told Peter to get that sword, all right? Where he told the brothers to sell that cloak and get a sword. I believe it's how it goes. We're gonna read that as well, but give me a little more on the story and tell me what happened with this brother.
Con, sir. In May, a South Philly man stepped out of his house for a smoke when the police said a gun-wielding man rode up on a bicycle and demanded money.
Tried to rob him on his front stoop while he's out there smoking a cigarette. He ain't had no business doing, but he was on his stoop. Go ahead, Marah.
Khan. The homeowner dropped his cigarette, pulled out his licensed gun, and fatally shot the would-be robber in the head.
See that? Killed that brother, shot him in the head over nothing. Over nothing. But the brother was justified because the robber pulled the gun on him. And he was justified to kill him. And once again, those type of crimes go on in cities where people don't have guns. Like criminals do all type of little crimes in cities where people don't have weapons to protect themselves or that they look or seem vulnerable. Rapes done went down, way down in these major cities with these sisters with guns. You run up on one of these sisters now at one of their car doors or something, you might get 2 in the chest. And trust me, being shot, even if you survive and you live, you're never the same. You are traumatized by it. Organs don't work all the way right. All kinds of problems you have, man. Ask all kinds of military veterans and brothers who've been shot. You have all kinds of issues. And then when you look back at the issues and the reasons why these things happen, you realize that you did these things over almost nothing. Like that brother is dead over trying to rob a man on his doorstep, which it was probably halfway obvious the man didn't have nothing on him. Standing out front smoking a cigarette. You try to run up on him and rob him, he beats you to the gun, you end up dead because of it. This is going to level out a lot. And this is also, once again, one of them early steps into lawlessness in, this society. You know what I mean? It's one of those steps that leads us and walks us to a semi-medieval time that we're living in. Okay? Marah, give me that one scripture when you get a second. All right? And we'll go from there.
Khan. This is the book of Luke, chapter 22, and start from verse 35. And he said unto them, when I sent you without purse and scrip and shoes, lacking ye anything? And they said nothing. Then said he unto them, but now he that have a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that have no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one.
In other words, you get ready to go into hard times. So this time when you go out, prepare yourself. Get the things that you need now, because you're going out in a harder time. You're going out in a much, much more difficult world that you're in. And that's exactly what's happening. And they've proven it in Philly. They said in Philly, man, they killing criminals. You know what I mean? I remember just last month, a couple of people tried to rob the Uber drivers. And them Uber drivers, man, they got all kind of new holsters and holsters attached to the seat and attached to the dashboard. And they got all kind of quick draw things going on that Esau in his diabolical mind is thinking up. You understand? All kinds of things like that. And that's exactly what's happening. Go ahead. So we can move on, right? We jump in on something else. So if you can, sell your coat and get a sword. You understand? Protect yourself. Protect those babies, man. If you're allowed to in that state. You know what I mean? Come.
We'll move on to the
Mm-hmm. Oh, you was able to get it back? Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Where you want to go next, sir?
Right down the list.
Khan. Fathers involved with children. Salaki. CDC reported. Salaki, let me share the picture with everybody. CDC reported on fathers involvement proved that black dads are most involved, and the Pew Research Center reports that the role of the American dad is changing.
This is a nice way of them telling you that they lied about black men not taking care of their children. This is a nice way of them telling you that they lied. Read some more, Mara.
Khan. According to the study by the Centers for Disease Control, black fathers were the most involved with children, no matter if they live with them or not.
Yeah, bring it back to me, Mara. That bow tie driving me crazy. Go ahead. Hey, don't sweat. Come on with it. Still the same issue? I'm not sure what we need is okay. Still do what you can, but still nothing. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. Oh, you got it back? Okay. Yeah, please. You can do screen and screen from here out so you don't take up too much of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can switch that one out too. You know, just switch out the image. So anyway, this is their way of proving. We're going to bring it out right now. This is their way of showing you that it's been a lie the whole time. Come on with it. They've been making out, once again, more psychological warfare against you, making out black men to be filth. Black men ain't nothing. Black men are dogs. Black men are this. Black men are that. Latino men are this. Latino men are that. You understand? Like, they successfully assassinated your character. And in assassinating your character, they got your woman out from underneath your authority. Right? By assassinating your character, your woman got out from underneath you. And as she got out from underneath you, your social structure as a family fell apart. And it fell apart so bad that now you got to call children by other pronouns. We're gonna go to Jennifer Lopez. I think she's on the list, right? Yeah, we'll get to her in a second. Because you celebrities, either you dumb as you could be, or you just suckers for any trend because you so hungry to sell records or to get in a movie or something like that. Like, some of you celebrities are the last people anybody should follow. Some of you are like the worst person a person out here could follow. Go ahead, Murad. Give me a little bit more.
Khan, sir.
Yeah, you ain't got to keep trying it out. If you don't get in it, you can let it go.
Khan.
I think you lost it all now. You lose me on audio?
Sir. You too wild, sir.
Yeah. Go ahead, read me some more. We'll come back to it.
Khan. Salaki.
Go ahead.
When compared with white and Hispanic fathers, Salaki, a greater percentage of black fathers, when compared with white and Hispanic fathers, fed or ate meals with children daily, bathed, diapered, and dressed children daily, played with children daily, and read to children daily. The study also proved that overall, American dads are more involved with child care than in years past.
So in other words, come to find out, black men are more involved with their children than they ever even showed before, and more so in many cases than women. Now check that out. More so in many cases even than women. Go ahead, read some more, Murad.
Khan, sir. The CDC report complements research on fathers by the Pew Research Center, which reported the changing definition of fatherhood in the United States. Here are 6 facts. Over 50% of moms and dads reported that parenthood is an essential part of their identity.
Right, before it wasn't. Before it was career was the essential part of their identity. Finally, black women are beginning to realize that they need a husband. Right. They need a husband and they need a functional family to help their children. If they're going to have children, they realizing now that everything they got gassed up, all that lying in the 70s about having abortion, all that lying about your career, all that lying about if he ain't got a job or he this or he that, throw him out the house. They finding out now that all of that was a damn mistake. They turning 50 and 60 years old and ain't got no husband. Now they like, oh my God, what happened? Thanks be to the Lord, we got the I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. bringing brothers and sisters back to each other. You understand? I.S.U.P.K. is giving black men the strength back to be in charge of their households. You understand? To be back with their families and to show these sisters how they ought to be and show them how they ought to walk. And brothers as well. Like that's what it was supposed to be from the beginning. And for you in them churches, you monsters in them churches, for you to turn around and to bring in alternative lifestyles right when we at the cusp of black families and Latino families learning the importance of now needing a husband and a wife in a household to properly raise children and the importance of it for your identity. How dare you now come in with all these pronouns? And let me tell you something else too. Another big shout out to Makolat. Another big shout out to you as well. And the brothers that have been posting videos. I've seen a couple of videos on Facebook where I see these black men with like a leash on a white girl. And then the white girl is like purring like a cat or barking like a dog or something like that. And I was saying to myself, oh, you know, this must be like a stunt or them playing. Come to find out that this is a real thing. This is like a real identity that they telling you that you could have. Meaning, in other words, you can decide that you identify as a cat or a dog. And that people have to recognize you. And they said, you want to hear something crazy? And I'm going to plug the movie again. Let me tell you something that's insane. They said that in schools, you got students in schools that are identifying as a cat or a dog or some other animal. And then when asked a question or something like that, that they're responding with a bark or responding with a meow. And that you have to, you can't correct them on that. Like, you want to talk, listen, they done gave the keys to the asylum to the maniacs. You hear me? You got a child sitting in class. You say, Tommy, come up and tell us what does 3 times 3 equal? And Tommy go, and you can't tell Tommy he's wrong for barking because Tommy identifies as a dog. As long as Tommy goes up to the board and answers, writes the proper answer, then you got to say, Tommy, that was good. And then Tommy he can say, as a response, and you got to take that serious. Like, come on, man. Nah, y'all ain't getting me in that craziness. That's insanity. That is psycho insanity. And I want everybody, now that everybody is on the channel with us, I want everybody to go to the description of this video. This live show. In the description of this live show, Marab put the link for a movie called What is a Woman? This Edomite conservative from I think the Daily Beast or one of them. I'm not sure. I believe it's from the Daily Beast. This Edomite turned around and did a movie where he went into the alternative lifestyle, the LGBTQ plus youth. Plus youth, that's that dangerous one. That plus youth, that's the dangerous one, because the plus youth means if a child starts to want to identify themselves as a full-fledged adult, do you now allow them to have a relationship with a full-fledged adult? Of course, because you're letting everybody have whatever pronouns they want. So that means a child who identifies himself as a 60-year-old man can now have a relationship with another adult man, even though biologically he's 10 years old. You are, in essence, condoning child molestation. It's insanity. But anyway, this movie, Mirage just plugged it up there for you. I think you got to sign in and download the movie or something like that. I'm not sure. Check it out for yourself to see what you need to do. But it is a movie that you need to see because it will show you the madness that they thinking of and that they are identifying themselves with. And that is, it's crazy. But I don't want to get on, I don't want to stay on that because we don't have a lot of time. I got a lot of stories. So is that in on the guns in Philly? Did we read that one, that scripture from Christ?
Yes, sir. Come on.
Huh?
Fathers, the black fathers in the house.
Okay, got you. That's right. That's right. All right. God, what was that, Mara?
I'm not sure, sir.
Oh shit! Everybody stand by one. Put somebody down. All right. False alarm.
Caught him on con, sir.
All right, let's get back in here. Okay, all right. On the story with the fathers, we going anywhere else with it?
If you want the next stories like the sports,
please, where you going next?
Kind of one con. This is Delonte. Delonte West insists he's okay after panhandling viral video surfaces.
This is a damn shame. Once again, this empire is not where you need to be. This empire is for your destruction. This brother right here is an NBA star, correct? It's an NBA ball player. And this brother was out panhandling, strung out on drugs, trying to survive, destroyed. And he's a star. Anybody out there know who he is? Post something in the chat because this cat is supposed to be a top star. Go ahead.
Caught on one con.
Listen, and let me say something. I see what you're saying, McShann. McShann is saying he said he good though. Yeah, he said he good, but he is an NBA star panhandling. That's a lie. Like people do lie, you know. And he's lying. He ain't good. You understand? Go ahead.
Con out of one con. The former NBA
Obla said that they know. Obla said that they know where to watch the movie for free. No sign up. So put the link in the description. Go ahead.
Salaka, sir, he was saying he was giving you a shout out, sir.
Who?
He said I know where to watch for free at Command and GEN.YAHANNA. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. God, Most High Christ. I feel you, brother. The water. I appreciate that. Go ahead, y'all.
Khan Khan. The former NBA player says, it is what it is. When asked how he is doing in the wake of the clip.
Right. So somebody in the chat room is saying he has mental issues and bipolar disorder. Now listen to this. If he has these issues, which I believe you when you say that, boy, oh boy, where is all this NBA support? Where's the doctors? Where's the medications? Where's the support? You understand? Nowhere to be found. And this is just one star. This is just one of these things. And the point of me bringing this up is for a bigger issue. And that is this. There's nothing wrong with you enjoying sports. There's nothing wrong with you watching sports, being into sports. There's nothing wrong with you becoming an athlete. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's not a sin. Here's what is a problem. When that becomes more important to you than the Most High, or when that becomes the medium in which you measure your life and the medium in which you learn how to live your life. Sports figures and athletes are not who is supposed to give you advice on how to deal with life. They're supposed to be small examples of what you should stand up for. They're not supposed to be the one teaching you about life, but we look at them and follow them in that way. And we also look at the whole athletic world like it is the, it's like winning the lottery, when it is not for many, many brothers. For every athlete that makes it into the pros and becomes wealthy, there are hundreds. For every single one, there are hundreds, maybe even thousands, who do not make it, who do not get up there. And your God, the God of Israel, is a jealous God.
Right.
He's a jealous God. He doesn't want anybody else looked at as greater than him. He doesn't want anybody else to be loved more than he is. He's a jealous God. He doesn't want anybody else to be pushed up greater than he is. Why? Because nobody else could do for you what he does. That's why he said, let there be no other powers before me. No other gods before me. That's why he said that, because there's to be no other gods that's looked at greater than him. And some of you do take it to the next level. Most of you do not, but some of you do take it to the next level. And the Lord said not to do that, man, because look what happens to many brothers. And this is the other side. This is the side that needs to also be exposed. Okay? Not only that, give me the other story, Mariah, if I could, with the brother that died, or is it on the list next?
Conor McCon, sir, is next.
Let's pull that one as well.
Conor McCon. Did you want the video of this brother panhandling or la?
Mm-hmm.
Did you want the video of the brother panhandling or la, sir?
No, that's it. Oh, you got a video of it?
Conor McCon.
No, I don't think we need the video. We hit the story right with the little bit of time we got left. Let's go to the brother that died so young, because I know we got a couple more stories as well. There goes another brother. Go ahead.
Conor McCon, sir. Baltimore Ravens linebacker Jalen Ferguson dies at 26. Damn. NFL announces.
Dies at 26. This brother's dead at 26. Once again, for everyone that makes it, everyone that becomes a superstar, there's tons of brothers that's also destroyed. Where's the safety net for them? Where's the safety net for their families? Where's the safety net for all those things that do happen while everyone else is looking so deeply into the success of the sport? And there's nothing wrong with that. But let's not turn it into God worship. We got to all make sure of that. Go ahead.
Conor McCon. Salaki. Nicknamed Sack Daddy for his exceptional record of college career sacks, he was a standout at Louisiana Tech before entering the NFL.
So before even getting in the NFL, he was at Louisiana Tech and was a standout, meaning he was famous, he was known. And now these athletes are pushing themselves harder than ever because, athletes now can get paid for their college games. I don't know how much they're going to be able to get paid with the greedy, disgusting coaches and organizations that rule over them. But they do have the right to get paid now. They have the right to get some finally, after so many years, have a right to get some money for their families who worked so hard to get them there, while the coaches is making $1 million, $2 million a year. And all the staff of white people that are living deliciously off of that brother's back until he's, blows out his knees or his spine or whatever else damage he may suffer. Whatever it is, this brother is dead now. Go ahead.
Conor McCon. Baltimore Ravens linebacker Jalen Ferguson has died. NFL.com reported on Wednesday, June 22nd.
This brother is dead. And listen, I know it ain't popular. I know we all love sports. You know what I mean? I used to be into sports. I'm not as much into it now as I was in the past. I played sports in high school. It was all about competing in that arena and all of that. And so I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I know that this ain't popular. But I also know that the Most High is also wants you focused on him as your top priority as well. Go ahead, Doc.
Khan. His cause of death was not immediately reported. The third round pick out of Louisiana Tech was 26. We are proudly saddened by the tragic, this quote unquote, we are profoundly saddened by the tragic passing of Jalen Ferguson. He was a kind, respectful young man with a big smile and infectious personality. We express our heartfelt condolences to Jalen's family and friends as we mourn a life lost much too soon, the Ravens tweeted.
Hey, y'all get the likes up, man. We lean on these likes in this room right here. Let's get these likes up, man. Hit that like button. Everybody hit the like button, man. Blackley got it right, man. Hit the like button, share it to your Facebook page. Come on, support this truth. And let me tell you something. You got a part to play in the truth. Your part isn't just listening to me. Your part in this truth is also to prepare yourself for brotherhood and sisterhood as we go further into these dark times. Your part also, man, is to support the truth in many ways. You should be volunteering for the truth as you educating yourself, as you doing your 90 days, as you becoming part of the work. You should be listening for events and things going on and supporting and turning around and volunteering. Everybody should be paying their tithes off the clip, off the top. 10%, I.S.U.P.K.com, and hit the like button. Okay? Through the grace and mercy of the Lord, you now can get the truth in the convenience of your home or wherever you're at with the invent of the internet. You didn't have that before. Coming up in my days, you had to come down to the speaking on Saturday to hear the brothers speak. That was the only time you would ever hear the brothers speak, unless they were in the city or something like that, or at an event, which was rare and not that often. So hearing and seeing this truth was not readily available to everybody, especially live. So come on, man, push the game up. Push the game up. Okay, because we're going to need each other in this near future. We're going to do it. We're going to need it. It's going to be on. It's going to be beautiful. But it's going to be rough as well, man. So y'all get it in, man. Let's keep on going. Where we going, Marah?
Khan, if I may. The Marvel story, sir.
Please. This is a good story.
Khan. Marvel faces backlash for racial stereotyping Miles Morales in latest What If series.
And let me tell you, if I could, for those of you that may not know, this Miles Morales is like a Latino superhero, or really a Latino Spider-Man is what he really is. He's like a Latino Spider-Man that Marvel Comics brought in on the scene. It's a little because, of course, the other superheroes are not descendants or proteges of other superheroes. You understand? Like this cat here had to become like Spider-Man's, protege, which in itself is already a bad thing. But that's what they did, okay? But however, it was right that Black people and Latino people stood up and checked the comic strips. They checked the comic strips and said, what the hell are you doing, Marvel? Why the hell are you showing every Black neighborhood as a poor, tore up, disgusting wreck? In other words, they didn't like the way Marvel was portraying us once again, which is done so much. It's still hard to this day to find Black heroes in movies and television shows, right or wrong, unless it's a comedy. Unless it's a comedy. In a comedy, then they don't mind making you a hero. But as a serious hero, they even did it with the movie Hannibal with Will Smith. They made him like an idiot, crashing into stuff, emotional, bad attitude. They didn't make him a serious character. They didn't make him like Superman was or like Batman was, serious characters with a mission. Now, y'all get me right. This is your shot in the chat room. Let me know if I'm wrong. Name me one or two black superheroes or Latino superheroes that are serious superheroes in the comics or in movie and television. I don't think you can do it. I don't think, okay, John Johnson, what you got? Right. Especially John Johnson got it right. He said especially a black superhero that comes from a rich background like Batman. Come on with it. Shaft. Now, here's the problem with Shaft. Shaft, I'll give you Shaft, but I still won't give you Shaft. Here's why. Because Shaft is a cop. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like Shaft he was a cop. So, and okay, if you know a little bit about the background of superheroes, Shaft, and I'm gonna get right back to the story. The reason why I reject Shaft is because Shaft was Hollywood's answer to Mario Van Peebles' black films about black men fighting against the system. You understand? Black Mario Van Peebles, was that the father? Which one is the son? Mario's the son or the father? I forget which one is the son. It's Mario and whatever the other one is. But anyway, the father. The son did them too. He did a couple of them films like that as well. A couple of those Westerns where he took revenge on white society for what they did. But his father is the one that really brought it in. And him and his father should really be icons in the black community. Instead, I don't see or hear almost anything from them. Remember, they were the ones that did, the son was the one that did that New Jack City, showing the evils of the crack sales and all that with Wesley Snipes. But anyway, I don't want to get too far off of it. All right. Dolomite was a comedy. Yeah, they're usually comedies. You know what I mean? Handyman, was that a comedy? I don't even know what that is, Priest Officer Hawa. I don't even know what that one is. Oh, it's Melvin. John Johnson, you always on it. It's Melvin Van Peebles. Melvin is the father. Now, Melvin made them films where those black men fighting the system were heroes. Hollywood's answer to that was Shaft. That's why Shaft is the popular one today. So I hardly can't give you a big pass on that. Okay, I'm listening. Power Man got his powers while in prison as an experiment. Okay, I had to look into him to see what he was. Adidas and Tim's. Oh, I got you. Luke Cage. I'll give you Luke Cage because Luke Cage will seem like he was a bona fide hero, but he's of today's era. Black Panther is a Hamite. You know I can't give you that. Black Panther is about psychologically depriving us of our greatness. Okay? Oh, Blackley said Luke Cage was weak and slow in critical thinking. I could see that. Media Man was a comedy, Ashley. Media Man was a comedy. You can't count him. Just Falcon. I don't know about Falcon. Anybody know about Falcon? Now you talking. Blade was a true hero, but he was a vampire. That's the only problem. But I will give you Blade. I will give you Blade because Blade fought the vampire. You understand? I'll give you Blade. Blade was a straight up right one. Okay. So anyway, let me get back to the story. So they showing as they drawing up this Spider-Man, they making him out to be like a clown. I mean, they're making his cities to be, horrible, to be horrible, evil cities that, are full of trash and destroyed. And black people stood up for it. And I think that was the right thing to do, man. You understand? Oh, Blade's daddy was white. Damn, you right. It's because his daddy was a vampire. Big shout out to Black. You right about that. You know what I mean? Big shout out to General Kobalamov. He said, we are depicted like dummies. He's so right. You know what I mean? We're depicted like buffoons for us to be a hero. You understand? And that is the problem. And so, but in this case, they try to make this Latino brother a little more of a hero, but they were showing the neighborhood so terribly. And brother, that is our problem. So you know what that means, right, Israel? Come on, y'all. Those of you that are artists and drawers, I know y'all had some superheroes out there. And let me tell you something else too, man. We should be writing a lot more children's books. Get on it, Israel. Where is it? Don't let none of our creativity get pushed to the wayside. Damn what they saying. You understand? All of that should be a part of us. You know what I mean? Books and pamphlets and all of those type of things that show us as great in all of our right ways, and great in this sense, y'all, because this is the other thing, and this is what black Christians will do to you. You'll create greatness in your black way, but they'll make it where you can't show your greatness coming up against them, like they did with Shaft. Like they used Shaft as a cop because they wanted a black hero, but they wanted to make sure that black hero was not standing up for him and his people. They wanted that black hero standing up for his people as a cop trying to do the right thing by the law, not as a cop who was fighting evil white supremacy to help black people out, or rather as a non-cop. You get my point. All right. Spawn was a good one, but you're right. Spawn was a demon. You understand? Spawn was a demon. Okay. And a pretty horrific demon the way they posed him. And they made him immoral. Like he was a demon, but he was also immoral. You understand? But their heroes, they don't never change how their heroes are. You understand? Most High in Christ, Blackley. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, they had Shaft sleeping with white woman. You right, John Johnson. You right. Okay. Static Shock. What's that? I don't know. Y'all know what that is? I don't know what that is. Is that a superhero? What is that? Or I don't know what that is. Go ahead.
It was like a cartoon. He was supposed to be like he was a little geeky. He wasn't really the spirit of Israel.
He was like a geek.
And he wasn't really popular because of that, if I may.
And Falcon, just on Paint said Falcon was Captain America's sidekick. You see what I'm saying? Black Vulcan from DC Comics. Who know about that? I don't know nothing about that one. Black Lightning. I don't know about that either. Come on, y'all. Enoch is my hero. Enoch. I feel you, Hector. I feel you. All right. I don't know about those other ones. I'm going to have to get up off it, though. But those are some good. Those are, once again, look how difficult it is for us to find the proper black leadership or the proper image of a hero. You wonder why no black man wants to be a hero. Ain't no black man want to be no hero. He's mimicking trying to be a drug dealer and a killer. Why? Because that's who he sees as great and powerful. That's the rags to riches success story that he's fed every day, male and female. You understand? So we need to have those too. You know what I mean? Wait a minute now. Ben Judah, what are you saying? Ben Judah, are you saying the original Green Lantern was black? Hold it now. Hold it. Okay. Are you saying that the original Green Lantern was black? Static Shock and Black Lightning is lightning as a kid. Okay. I got you. Okay. Hard Play 09 said Black Lightning is tight. All right. So the Django, that was a solid bona fide hero. He was definitely coming up against a kingdom, rightly, you know what I mean? So that was on the right path. So that's it. I'm going to get up off it. So that was what happened with that comment. Well, once again, it was a beautiful thing that black people and Latino people came together and stood up against what Marvel was portraying to kids in terms of all of how our neighborhoods are. You understand? Our neighbors are that way because they did it, and then they spend the money to gentrify it and then raise the prices up and rob us till we done. Right. Zion I.S.U.P.K. Posse was damn good. Was a damn good movie. Once again, another Peebles production that was that portrayed black people the right way. You know what I mean? Okay, he was a black kid Spider-Man. I didn't know that. Okay. Okay. Q said a motion picture association is a bunch of mobsters. Well said, Q. Well said. All right. All right. I got to get off of that. I got about 15 more minutes in here. I got to tell y'all a couple more good stories. Also, I'm going to plug this one more time. Go check out this movie. We're going to talk about it on Saturday. It is going to blow your mind. Okay. The guy that wrote the movie, big shout out to Sister Howball for sending that info to me. The sister, the movie is was done by a cat from the Daily Wire. Okay. Check it out. Click the link. Check the movie out when you get a chance. You're gonna get a kick out of it because you're gonna see the craziness in this whole LGBT. They're giving this cat death threats and everything. They're trying to wipe him out, which is once again, and let me tell you something, that's always an early sign of a lie. You want to know the early sign of a false idea or a false ideology is when people who cannot defend it, so they want to become violent to defend it. Like when you tell somebody something about Christianity and you expose, especially if you say Jesus ain't white. You say Jesus is not white, he was a black man, and show them proof. Daniel 10:5-6, Revelation 1:14, Jeremiah 14:2. You start pulling those scriptures out, you know what I'm saying? Songs of Solomon 1:5. People want to become violent with you. And they want to become violent with you because they don't have a defense for the lie that they have been living for so many years. You understand? That's what happens. And that's why this truth is so important, and so important that we're allowed to say the things that are the truth, man. So that's it. So where we going, Marah? Oh, did they say the video is no longer available, Tea Time? All right, then listen, you got to search through YouTube on What is a Woman. Search through it and find the full copy. Somebody got it. I knew they was going to try to get rid of it. That's why I tried to get in here Wednesday and get it to you, because I knew that they were going to try to kill this movie. Because this movie, this movie exposes the craziness in this LGBTQ plus youth thing and how sick these people are. And they even have other psychiatrists and shrinks that say that those people are crazy. I mean, renowned, known psychologists that say they're crazy. Listen, let me tell you something that just blows my mind. Q, is that a link for it? Q got a link he just posted in the chat room. I hope that's a link to it. The guy that made the movie is from the Daily Wire. Let me tell you something. Okay. Okay. Let me tell you something else too about it that is so heavy that they can't defend it when they bring it out. And something else that blew me away when I watched this movie. And like I said, we're going to talk about it Saturday night, 9 o'clock. Join us right back here. Saturday, 9 o'clock, we're going to go talk about it. But let me tell you something else that blew me away when I saw the movie. He went to regular women, real women, and walked up to them on the street and said, "What is a woman?" And those women could not tell him. They had no answer for him. They were so brainwashed with all of these different pronouns that real, actual women were confused at what a woman was at that point, which is exactly what them transvestites want. Them transsexuals want you confused about what a woman is because they want to become a woman. And hopefully, finally, and let me tell you why this could be a blessing in disguise. You understand? Because hopefully, finally, Black and Latino women realize or begin to realize that you are under attack, that these transsexuals want to replace you. And then hopefully now you will not only become a promoter of heterosexual relationships, but you will also be fully aware that the alternative lifestyles are trying to get rid of you. They're doing it in sports already. Matter of fact, I think we got a story saying that it got banned. Do we have that story, Mara? Saying, oh, we didn't go with it. They just came out with it and said in certain states they banned transsexuals from participating in sports because they were running the women out of all the sports. It was a dumb idea to think a man and a woman are the same. We 50-50, we equal. They've been pumping that garbage to you for years. When for thousands, how you going to change 5,000 years of history overnight? When for 5,000 years, men had a role and women had a role. And for the last 400 years, you've been lying to women, telling them that their role is less and demeaning as a woman. And as a result, messed up the whole order of the way men and women should be, which the Lord calls an abomination, man. You know what I mean? So hopefully now sisters learning, oh man, follow all your I.S.U.P.K. What you got for me, Q? I don't know what that means, Q. ODC? I don't know what that is. That's the link, sir. This is the link to the movie? The water, Q. The water, huh? Okay, beautiful, Q. Beautiful, 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 Q. All right, the water. All right. But now that's just the link for the video, right? All right, yeah. Okay. So anyway, let me get back to what I'm saying. My point being is simply this, that I'm looking at y'all in the chat room. Y'all got my attention, hell. That the point is that hopefully now this empowers black women to turn around now and say, hey, I got to join this framework. Black women are finding out anyway that they need a man now in that household. Like as they start to plan out their life. See, they were planning out their lives before and just thinking to themselves, I need a good job and a good career. And if he don't act right, then I'll just put him on child support, raise the kids myself. But they're finding out now that that's a mistake and that's an error. They're finding out now that that's a big problem. They're finding out now that that doesn't work. That comes from the slave master. That's him trying to empower you against your own husband and making you believe that it's progressive and it's modern and it's not archaic and that it's not a dinosaur's way of living, when it is exactly that. It is what came before we got to the order that we've been in for the last 5,000 years. We were doing that nonsense. And now we on the right track, and here they come along, you understand, to take away that. So I'm all for that, Marah. Tell me what else you holding in the list.
I had the other stories that do you want to go into the transgender athletes?
No, we jump on it Saturday. Join us Saturday, 9 p.m. We're gonna be back on it, and we're gonna be talking about this movie and all the aspects of this movie. I got to give you some highlights on this movie, because I mean, he really went into their world and showed you how ridiculous this world was. Okay, what else you holding, Marah?
Did you want to do the cattle, sir?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the cattle.
Khan.
That's next on the list, right?
Yes, sir. Khan.
Yeah, let's go.
Khan.
Yeah, hey, big shout out to Calvin Hancock. You dead right out, because somebody did a report showing how these sociopaths were in Disney and different groups and putting it all in cartoons everywhere they can. That's what that movie, what is that movie with the little white girl in it? Recent cartoon movie. Oh man, who knows that movie? The movie was a cleverly disguised movie about becoming a lesbian, but they made it into a humongous cartoon. It was out recently. Anybody know which one I'm talking about? Okay. It might be Frozen. Is that the one with the little white girl, right?
That's one of them. It's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon. I think that's it. I think that movie is about lesbianism, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't know they did. I heard the Buzz Lightyear movie was out. Now they got two men kissing in the Buzz Lightyear. Okay, Hawa said, Precinct Officer Hawa said that it is Frozen. That movie Frozen, is about lesbianism and worshiping the vagina. That's what that movie is about. If it's the movie I'm talking about, and Hawa is confirming. Now, I didn't know Buzz Lightyear was turning around also and having two men kiss. It's wicked as hell, man. It's wicked as hell. And once again, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of your time. Having this truth is how you're going to battle all this stuff. This is how you're going to not lose your sanity. When poverty comes in, when bills struggle, when families fail you, when these things happen, how are you going to hold your brain together? You're going to hold it together with great brotherhood and sisterhood. And let me tell you something else, too. You black women, you better understand something. That in hard times, the greatest thing you could ever have, this goes really for men and women, is a brother that really loves you as a brother. Like you get a brother that loves you as a brother, like a brother should love a sister and really is concerned for your well-being, for the kindness and the sweetness that you've been towards him and other brothers and sisters. That brother right there is invaluable. He is going to be what's going to make you stable in them rough ass times, man. You understand? A lot of sisters, man, lost good men over their mouth, over their disrespect, over their ignorance, over their vanity, over church, over all of that. And as a result, latch themselves onto every little stupidity that comes along and hurt themselves terribly, man. Hurt themselves, man, in ways I would never want to see you hurt, but hurt themselves terribly in these different ways, man. Okay? So, come on, Murat, hit me. You ain't got to tell me, but take note of the numbers, all right?
Yes, sir. Kanawan Khan.
Just take note of it. You ain't got to bring it out, but let's go.
Kanawan Khan. Thousands of cattle suddenly die in Kansas. Officials say, what's to blame?
Right. They saying, well, it's aliens. It's UFOs. It's more likely some nastiness going on out there.
Right.
It's more than likely you got some mad cow or something going on out there because diseases are breaking out all over the earth because we in that time of judgment. And it's so biblical. It's biblical. I mean, tens of thousands of heads of cattle. Them farmers is being wiped out. Wiped out. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Murat. Give me some more.
Kanawan Khan. Thousands of cattle died in Kansas in recent days due to sweltering heat and humidity, officials say. Estimates vary on the total number dead, as ranches aren't required to report deaths. The State Department of Agriculture told McClatchy News the deaths are centered in southwest Kansas, where several weather factors led to heat stress for cattle, and a department spokesperson said.
Go ahead.
Temperatures were in the 80s and low 90s until a sudden spike to 100 degrees on June 11th, followed by 2 more days of triple heat, according to the Weather Channel. At least 2,000 animals were lost, Reuters reported.
And that might be, you ain't out there able to give them that water and keep them cool and feed them what they need or whatever the case may be. You getting plagued by the Most High. You understand? You getting smacked. More to come. More to come. It could get so bad that, listen, it's bad enough if the disease is in the people, but if the disease gets in the food, oh, you about to become a vegetarian. You about to become, you're gonna be a salad-eating, tomato-eating fool because you ain't gonna be no meat to eat because it'll be all disease. This is all coming, and it is glorious in the eyes of the Lord. You understand? The way it was glorious to him when he brought it down on Egypt after their disobedience to the Most High. Like, America better get right quick. They better repent quick. And what did they think? They knew America was built off of the philosophy of ancient Egypt. Like, this is a republic just like ancient Egypt was. And it was built off of the same philosophy. What did they expect to happen? After a certain period of time, they thought the same thing that happened to ancient Egypt would not happen to this kingdom? It did happen to this kingdom. Go ahead.
Count on one con. This is a very unique and unfortunate event. Hagen said this worsens with consecutive days of high heat, and as such, the cattle couldn't get any relief. Normally, western and southwestern Kansas is a red part of the state. Although it gets hot, it's not humid. Hagen said the sudden change is what really caused the losses. It didn't give the cattle time to acclimate.
You understand? So they couldn't even adjust to get the cattle what they needed because the heat spiked up so fast, killed off the cattle. And who knows what else is coming? This is the sign of the times. Oh, they're going to try to feed the poor. Give me two scriptures, Marah. One, they shall seek to feed the poor, and then give me sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Give me both of those, please. Okay? Because they're going to try to take, they're going to get real loving towards blacks and Latinos as we get closer, just like the ancient Egyptians did. They're going to want to fix things in your life for you after a while. They're going to look at you like the crown jewels of America after a while. But it'll be too late then because judgment will already have taken place. The greedy, grubby lowlifes that have no morals, they'll take off. They'll take the crumbs. They'll take the crumbs that are being offered to them by the empires of this world, but not the disciples of Christ, because they know what's coming. They know total destruction and annihilation is coming on this earth in time, in a short time. We're watching it unfold now. I'm ready when you are.
Khan, Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
See that? This is the virgin daughter of Babylon. Same philosophy of ancient Babylon. Same philosophy of ancient Egypt. Same philosophy of the Greek, the Romans. Same philosophy here in America. The philosophy of ancient Babylon, bringing all nations together. God loves everybody. We all should be one. All nations should work together. Meanwhile, our people have been on the bottom of every single one of those nations and the other ones that I haven't even listed. We've been on the bottom of their all. Well, the Lord said, now you come and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. To sit in the dust means to go down to the lowest state of poverty. That's what it means to sit in the dust. Like you go and plop down in the dusty floor because you now on the bottom. Go ahead.
Khan. Sit on the ground. There is no throne.
There is no throne, meaning get on the ground. You ain't going to rule anymore. There is no throne for the empires no more. Go ahead.
O daughter of the Chaldeans.
O daughter, and it specifically calls them the daughter of the Chaldeans, because the Chaldeans were magi's or witches of philosophy. And they had all kinds of philosophies and secret societies and secret groups that they only taught certain things to themselves. When America was built, they used that same philosophy coming from Egypt of secret societies, Masonic temples, and Scottish rites, and all these secret societies to build their empire. They're the same thing. Go ahead.
Khan. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
No longer will this place be called tender and delicate. It's not going to be all this having a good time and wonderfulness. It ain't going to be called tender and delicate no more. You see what's going on with the shootings already. The shootings, the killings, the poverty, the high gas prices. This is the way it's going. And it's going to continue to go this way because this is the Lord's doing. And it's to make you and refine you, black man and black woman. This ain't to destroy you. You served your time. You served your punishment out. This ain't got nothing to do with you. This is to refine you. This is to shake you off. You understand? You ever cook fish before? You put it in the batter, then you drop it in the flour, you shake it all up to get the flour on it, then you take it out the flour and you shake it off the excess and you go ahead and put it in the frying pan. That's you. The Lord is going to shake all the excess off of you and have you refined and ready to be the people that you're supposed to be. Come on with it.
Khan. It's the book of Job, chapter 2. You mind if I start at verse 5?
Go ahead. Was you finished with Babylon?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Khan. Job chapter 2, verse 5, chapter 20, verse 5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short.
That's it. They're triumphant, meaning their success and greatness is short compared to what Christ's kingdom is going to be. Christ's kingdom is going to be for forever. That's a long time. Go ahead, Doc.
And the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment.
And the joy of the hypocrite. They out there, LGBT, you know, God love everybody. That's the hypocrite, because it's not what God said in the Bible. You understand? And that joy is but for a little bit of time. Go ahead.
Verse 10. His children shall seek to please the poor.
His children shall seek to please the poor. Get ready. Oh, they're going to be at your feet trying to please you, because they're going to know that the empire is falling. They did it in ancient Egypt. Before we left out of ancient Egypt, they gave us their gold and diamonds and everything we needed. Why? Because they knew what they had done. They sought to please the poor. They don't seek to please the poor now because they're rich and wealthy and powerful and they rule in the world, but they're beginning to start to feel the pinch now that they done started that war and the gas prices going through the roof. They're beginning to feel the pinch, and then they're going to know your suffering. Then they're going to know what it's like living in the ghetto. Then they're going to know what it's like to not have heat in your house and to not be able to feed your family, man. Then they're going to know what it's like. Go ahead.
And his hands shall restore their goods. His bones are full of sin of his youth.
Right.
Which shall lie down with him in the dust.
Right. His bones are filled with the sin of his youth. And all of it's going to lie down in the dust. It's going to be a horrible day. And I love every moment of it. I love to see it unfold. Hey, listen, go to ISUPK.com. Support this truth. Pay your tithe. If you've never done it before, do it now. It's 2 easy steps. Click on it. Drop your information in there. Hit the amount you want to send to the school. Support us, man. Keep them tithes coming in. ISUPK.com. Beautiful place to drop your tithes and support this truth. Join us every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. We do it up 9 p.m. live every week. We get it in. This Saturday, we're going to go back into the
What is a woman?
Yeah, what is a woman? Get that link from Marah. He's going to give you that. Put that link up in the chat room. Get that link. If you can, check that movie out. You're going to get a big kick out of it. But do it when you got time to sit down and pay attention, because, you know, it's kind of boring. Come from an Edomite. But if you got time to sit down and listen to it and hear what they're talking about, you're going to see some craziness in that movie. And then we're going to talk about it Saturday. We'll all get together in the chat room this Saturday, 9 o'clock. We'll jump in the chat room, man. We'll talk about that movie and anything else that's going on. Have some of the brothers in here with us, man. Do it up. I had a wonderful time tonight. I hope you enjoyed yourself tonight and joining me up here tonight. My main man, Marah, in here holding it down, man. Big shout out to him as always. I'll see y'all next time live, y'all, on the UPK, y'all. Shalom.
What these niggas at anyway, man? 95, right? So where these
This cover me with pride, ain't no disguise when I'm covered up. I thank God I'm with a squad that ain't no runner-up. We serve a power that'll kill you if you fuck with us. Fair warning, giving heads up like this uppercut. We ain't with that sucker stuff. If you ain't trying to knuckle up, then you better simmer down. They act like they gon' buckle up and spin a block on us. Niggas love fucking acting tough until we back them up. We don't budge, but you acting stuck. Stand for a cause, but we'll fall on them if we must. Here preparing war, we gon' roar, ain't no packing up. Why you mad at us? Cause your lies ain't adding up. Or pay me as a villain, I ain't tripping. Listen, I be feeling old, but I stay away from old feeling. No feelings for them old hoes. They some gold diggers, gold figures. So bitter, why my soul shimmer from that gold in it. I'm that nigga from what I was told. I'm cold with it. Squad looking like a jungle gym. Got all these poses in it. School real like some highlights. We on the road winning. Take this shit to your city. Hop out, lead a road dinner. Cracking pavements. Don't give a fuck like a whole menace. Throwing bows, go see your dentist. Y'all could rob is the goal. Fight won't even last a whole minute. Nigga, we gon' bring your shit back on one here. No bitching. We ain't gotta go and get no scraps and even worth killing. Keep going, but I still beat. You get censored out. Cold when I'm lit. They want the smoke, bring them senses out. Black stick, niggas talking slick, go across your mouth. Fear God, stand before the judge, throw them charges out. Brotherhood, I trust, and only that, I'm betting on the house. Better brother like Ghen.YAHANNA to see what you about. Troops gon' start I'm out. This truth gotta get out. An arson up in this house. This booth gotta get doused. I'm rolling with the generals that came before me in the school. This life is like a bike and I'm just riding like an inner two. We spin a block at a salute, then we marching with the troops. We ain't posted on the stoop. We gon' do what we gon' do. You bastard, it's a Sabbath. Yeah, we out at camp. We going up, but we ain't going off, cause this is not a rent. So all you niggas talking, put your hours in. Fit them boots that I was in. Step into that lion den. Front line with no powers, and they talk about a priest, but they can't do what the prophets can. They all about the propaganda. You turn your back for a stack to some shit I can't stand. You choosing that over heaven, share money or defense, but brotherhood is a weapon. Niggas switching sides, I can never. Class of 2018, that's my squad forever. Being the op to the gang, man, that shit ain't clever. These niggas will pull up and snap like a fucking lever.